Have you ever looked someone in the eyes and known they're going to kill you? I did, but here's the thing. They didn't know. I was planning to kill them first. The clock in my apartment read 2:47 a.m. The rain tapped against the windows like impatient fingers. I hadn't slept. Not really, not in years. He was coming tonight, and I was going to end it. I'd been waiting for this night for 11 years. Ever since he walked out of that courtroom free, smirking, blood still metaphorically wet on his hands. My brother's blood, my mother's silence, and my scream still echoing somewhere in that basement. No one believed me. Not the police, not the courts, not even my therapist. And I paid her to believe me. They said it was trauma, said I made it up, said it wasn't possible because Jacob Ritter is dead. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And last week, when I saw that face, same scar above the brow, same eyes like broken glass, staring at me in a reflection that wasn't mine, I knew he wasn't dead. He changed names, changed lives, but he was still hunting and still feeding. And this time, he came back for me. Only this time, I was ready because I'd learned how to hunt too. I loaded the gun. Not the legal kind, the kind you don't register, because you don't want to explain why you have it. I turned off every light in the apartment, sat in the center of the room, and waited. Because tonight, I was going to kill my killer. They say when you plan to kill someone, the hardest part is the waiting. Not for me. I'd already done the hard part, accepting that I was capable of murder. I wasn't some vigilante or action hero. I didn't have military training or special skills. I was just a man, a broken man, a forgotten man. And for the past 11 years, I'd lived like a ghost in my skin. Jacob Ritter had slit my brother Nathan's throat in the basement of a house we just moved into. I was 10. Nathan was 12. I still remember the sound, like someone pouring a bag of marbles onto tile. But I didn't scream right away. I froze. My brain shut down. My mouth forgot what panic sounded like. And by the time I moved, by the time I ran up those stairs, barefoot and bleeding, he was gone. No one found Jacob. The police investigated. Then they stopped investigating. Then they blamed me. Said maybe I had imagined it. Said Nathan had tried to hurt himself. Said the blood pattern didn't match the claim. But 2 years ago, I saw him again. Not in person, on a CCTV screen. He was walking past a gas station on the edge of Detroit. Different haircut, different posture, but the scar was... I tracked him for months. He called himself Wes now. Worked for a salvage yard. Lived alone, quiet life. Nothing to notice until last week when I found a name, a child, gone missing. Same town, same pattern. I knew, and I couldn't let it happen again. So I set the trap, used myself as bait. Used my real name, checked in under it, left the hotel door cracked just enough. He would find me. He wanted to find me. But this time, there would be no running, no screaming. Only one of us would walk out of that room alive, and I already knew who. The air in the motel room felt thick, like it had weight. I sat in the corner chair, back to the wall, eyes on the door. My right hand rested inside the drawer where the pistol waited. Not a trigger pull away, just a decision. The clock read 3:17 a.m. If he were coming, it would be now. The hallway outside creaked. Once, twice, then silence. I could feel my pulse behind my eyes. And then, the doorknob moved. Not a full turn, just a test. The way a predator might touch the edge of a trap to check if it snaps. I didn't breathe. Then the door slowly swung inward. You stepped in. Same height, same walk. That neck tilt I remembered from the trial. The way he looked at the jury, like he already owned the verdict. But something was off. His eyes. He wasn't looking at me. He was scanning the room, like he was looking for someone else. Like I was the decoy, not the bait. He took a step forward. That's when the door closed behind him. Slowly, silently. He turned, saw me, paused, and smiled like he knew. "Hello, Eli," he said. Hearing my name from his mouth was like being cut with cold glass. You shouldn't be here," I said. He laughed. "I'm always where I'm needed." He stepped closer. "I saw your post. Thought maybe you remembered." I stood. The gun was still hidden behind me. "What did you do to the Monroe kid?" I asked. He shrugged. "You're asking the wrong question." "Then what's the right one?" He leaned in. "What did they do to me?" I didn't wait. I grabbed the gun, pointed, and my hands were shaking. But he didn't flinch. He just tilted his head again, like a curious dog. "You think this is justice?" he asked. "This is the beginning." Then he moved, faster than I expected. I fired. The shot echoed like thunder in a church. He dropped, but not the way people drop when they die. More like a sack collapsing inward. I stepped closer. Gun still up. His body twitched. Then he looked up at me, not angry, not scared, almost relieved. "You're not done," he whispered. "They're coming." I checked his pulse. Nothing. Jacob Ritter, or Wes, or whatever the hell he was dead. But the silence that followed, it didn't feel like peace. It felt like opening a door I should have never touched. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. His body was still on the motel floor, twisted, cooling. I stared at him for hours, not because I was in shock. That passed in the first 30 minutes. No, I stared because I was waiting for something. Some shift, some change, some proof that it was finally over. But it wasn't, because at 5:11 a.m., my phone, the burner I bought just for this, lit up. Unknown number. One text. "You started it. Now you'll finish it." My stomach turned cold. I grabbed the motel's scratchy towel, wrapped the gun, wiped the doorknob, and walked out. No security cams, no witnesses. I ditched the burner in a dumpster 3 blocks down and walked until my legs hurt. Then I took a cab to a church. Not because I believe, because I needed silence. The priest didn't ask questions, just nodded toward a pew. I sat. Then I pulled the USB drive from my pocket, the one I'd taken from Wes's jacket. I plugged it into my laptop. Files. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Some were labeled with names I didn't recognize, but some I did. Nathan Eli, Monroe David, Ritter Jacob. Then one folder made my mouth go dry. E11 test subjects. Inside, medical records, photographs, scans of brain tissue, strange handwritten notes. Dates went back 20 years, and I saw a pattern. Every name matched a disappearance. Every file ended with the same word. Awakened. This wasn't just revenge. This wasn't about my brother. This was bigger. Wes wasn't a killer. He was a result. And now I might be one too. Because in one of the scanned documents, one was buried under layers of metadata. There was a name, Eli Granger. Date of birth, mine. Status, dormant. Last update, today. And one last word, activated. The word wouldn't leave my mind. Activated. Like a switch had flipped. I stared at that document in the church until my hands went numb. The priest must have walked past me 3 times, but I didn't notice. Not until the screen on my laptop flickered. Once, twice, then every file vanished, gone. And in their place, a video. I didn't click it. It just started playing. The screen showed a room. White walls, no windows, a metal chair. A boy was strapped to it. His mouth opened like he was screaming, but there was no sound, just flashing lights, patterns that seemed random at first, then started forming shapes. My name, my face, my voice. A date appeared, March 14th, 2002, the day after my brother's death. Then a second boy entered the frame, Nathan, alive, until the screen glitched and everything turned black. I slammed the laptop shut. My pulse pounded against my ribs. What the hell was this? Was I part of it? Not just a survivor, a subject. Had they erased something from me? Buried it so deep that only now is it surfacing. The whispers in my dreams. The flashbacks that never matched reality. The feeling of being watched, even when I was alone. I thought it was trauma, but what if it was programming? I left the church and went straight to the last person who ever truly knew me, Dr. Maren Wells, my childhood therapist, the one who first said, maybe he's imagining it. I hadn't seen her in 10 years. She opened the door slowly, a bit older, eyes still sharp. "You came," she said, like she knew I would. I held up the laptop. "We need to talk." Inside her house, we didn't waste time. I showed her everything, the files, the video, the document with my name. "And Wes, was he part of it too?" She nodded. "There were 11 of you." My voice cracked. "And how many are still alive?" Dr. Wells looked me in the eyes. Now, just 2. I stared at Dr. Wells, my mouth suddenly dry. 2 left. Me and who? Who's the other one? I asked. She hesitated. Then, subject 5, registered under the name Lena Cross. I didn't recognize the name. You were never meant to meet, she added. The program separated survivors. I shook my head. But if she's alive, then she remembers too. She remembers differently, Wells said. She never forgot. The weight of it all settled like iron in my chest. I'd spent 11 years chasing a killer, thinking this was revenge, but it was recovery, retrieval of a part of me they stole. I left Wells's house just after dusk. The sky was that odd purple blue, where anything feels possible or dangerous. My phone buzzed. Unknown number again. I kept one of the servers alive. It holds their data, every file, every name. She paused. Do you want to destroy it? I looked at the blinking red light, thought of Nathan, thought of Wes, thought of every name in that folder. No, I said. I want the world to see it. She smiled. Good, then let's show them what happens when memory fights back.